Ladies, we are here tonight on the show. And tonight, we're going to start the damn show with Bret Hart. Apparently, he was going to go to AEW. Was trying to bring him in as a manager to manage a wrestler. Kind of like Arn Anderson did with Cody Rhodes. And now he's doing with Wardlow. And stuff like that. Maybe Sting kind of doing it with Darby Allin, although he's kind of he's also kind of wrestling too. But we're gonna try to do something similar with Bret Hart. But apparently, Bret Hart said that he was more interested in being behind the scenes, and helping out with behind the scenes. And apparently, AEW was not interested in that, which is crazy because they give the active wrestlers, right? Like Orange Cassidy, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. They're kind of like doing this both, right? They're wrestling at the same time. They're like producers helping out behind the scenes. And the fact that Bret Hart could have focused full time, 100% on the behind the scenes stuff, and with all the experience he has, they didn't want him. That's crazy. They just wanted him to be like an on-screen manager. Damn, that's like a Bret Hart or a freaking Arn Anderson or a freaking what's the other one? Randy. I can't even remember the guy's name. Jake the Snake Roberts, stuff like that. But damn, that's crazy, man. They didn't want him to be a freaking behind the scenes man. Anyways, let's move along. Kevin Owens. Apparently does have a broken ribs. He's been wrestling with broken ribs for a while. They were waiting for the right time to take him off screen. And so I guess they found this time last night, and they actually did it on the show where Judgment, they attacked him, and they hurt his ribs, and he's having the medical staff complain about his ribs. And apparently, so now they're going to take him off at least for a few weeks, give him time to heal. And so my guess is they're probably not going to have to go as far to stripping them of having them relinquish the tag team titles. I think he should be healed probably soon, possibly sometime after SummerSlam. I would think at longest he should be healed. So I don't think this is going to be a situation where they're going to have to relinquish the tag team titles. I think by August he should be wrestling again. He just needs to get some time off to heal up. There's nothing you can do really with ribs. Other than heal up and rehab, and not even rehab really, just like rest. But yeah, I don't see why they should relinquish them. Anyways, both SmackDown and Collision did really good this week. Collision did 600,000 views, which is the highest one in a while. Even though TNT has told them in the past, as long as they stay like top 5 in cable, it's fine. Now, the reason they're telling them top 5 is because obviously we know what's happened in a few months. Football season's coming around, and so that's going to be tougher to stay in the top 5 with all these damn college football games going around. So we'll see how that does, but for now, good at 600,000. SmackDown had their highest viewership ever when they are in FS1. They were, I believe, because of the Women's World Cup soccer game on Fox, they were switched over to FS1, where they did their highest rating. I believe it was like 1.3, 1.2, something like that. So I think this is the first time ever since they've been working with Fox since 2019. So 4 years, they get switched over to FS1 for 1 week, and they hit 1 million. I think this was the first time they hit 1 million in the 4 years since they've been occasionally been doing shows on FS1. So good job for SmackDown as well. So good ratings over the weekend for both Collision and SmackDown. They're saying Rush re-signed with AEW. He announced it himself on Twitter. He re-signed. So Rush, a lot of people were wondering that WWE was waiting for the contract to expire and then start negotiating with him. But that is no longer going to be the case, as Rush has re-signed with AEW. Maybe now they're going to get him involved in this storyline that Andrade's doing with the House of Black. Maybe they just didn't want him to get him involved because they were not sure if he was even going to be there long term. But now that they do, they're probably going to get him involved and have him help Andrade fight off the freaking House of Black. Triple H, it's 1 year anniversary now. He's officially been the chief content officer for 1 year now. So at least he had a lot more power the first like 5 months, right? From like July to like December. Not so much now. Now he's got to get approval from Vince McMahon. But I think he still is really involved. Obviously, he goes to all the shows. He writes a script and stuff like that. But so 1 year of Triple H as chief content officer. All right, pretty crazy how it's already been a year since all that shit happened. They're saying that the freaking great. They're trying to figure out what to do with both LA. Wait, where am I going here? Where am I going here? Oh no, The Rock. Jesus, I can't even read my own handwriting. Well, my handwriting, my fucking. Anyways, The Rock has. So there's like a fucking. This is not even wrestling news, but whatever. There's a fucking strike going on in Hollywood right now where the actors don't want to perform. I think it's because they're not getting paid enough. And so The Rock, I guess there's like a foundation doing this. And The Rock has donated the largest amount of money to the foundation. So out of all the actors, The Rock has donated the most money. So good for The Rock, man, helping this cause of the lower tier actors getting more money. And last one, WWE trying to figure out a way to get both LA Knight and Grayson Waller on SummerSlam. The belief is they're struggling because usually they do a good job of keeping the card like short, like maybe 7-5 matches. But the belief is it's up to 9 matches already. The card, so they already switched over Austin Theory and whoever he faces, whether it's Santos Escobar or Rey Mysterio, to Friday Night SmackDown the Friday before SummerSlam. And so they're trying to figure out because they want to have both LA Knight and Grayson Waller on SummerSlam, but they're trying to maybe think of maybe like kind of like similar to what they did with Grayson Waller and John Cena at Money in the Bank, something like that. Because they say they kind of want to be, they want it to be short because they said we're already up to 9 matches. So yeah, man, they're trying to get them on the card, but they just don't know exactly how due to all the card being clocked up with already 9 matches. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. I think that is it for the news, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is it. Let's move over to do Monday Night Raw. Freaking Monday Night Raw. What was the date? July 24. I believe it was. It was. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Freaking Monday Night Raw from freaking Tampa Bay, Florida. We start off with the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and they introduce Dominic. They give him a lone entrance as the new North American NXT champion. Then they play a video package. Then once again, like last week, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn come out. This time, Sami Zayn challenges Dominic to a match with the NXT North American champion. Rhea Ripley accepts for him. And so that was pretty much the opening segment. Let's move forward here tonight, man, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight on a Tuesday. Let's see here, man. So first match of the night was Becky Lynch versus Zoe Starks. The stipulation is if Becky Lynch wins, she gets a one-on-one match with Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. If Zoe Starks wins, Becky Lynch has to put a tattoo of "Thank you, Trish," Very good match. Although the kind of Becky Lynch kind of dominated, but they gave Zoe Stark some time too. Obviously, at the end, Becky Lynch wins. So it is official. It will be Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. The ending was kind of cool because Zoe Stark did like a which I think like a springboard off the top rope, and Becky just caught her and hit her with a manhandle slam. Kind of a cool finish there at the end there. Let's see. Let's move forward. Then we get Cody Rhodes just doing a promo on Brock Lesnar. Nothing real big here. Brock Lesnar never showed up. Cody just did the promo saying now he's ready for Brock Lesnar. He's not poking the bear. He's slapping the bear to come and fight him. And he's ready to end this chapter of the story at SummerSlam. And it was really whatever. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it was really whatever. Let's move along here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Here tonight on a Tuesday. Let's see here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move around. Then we get the NXT match. Sami Zayn versus Dominic for the NXT North American Champion. Obviously, right off the bat, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest try to get involved. And so does Kevin Owens, but then everybody gets thrown out, both Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley and Kevin Owens. So then it actually became a very fun one-on-one match between Sami Zayn and Dominic, man. Very fun one-on-one match. It was maybe one of the best matches of the night. And then at the end, Sami Zayn about hit the Haluba kick, and the Judgment Day comes out bringing Kevin Owens all beat up, and Sami Zayn gets distracted, and that's how Dominic wins the match. And he retains his North American champion, man. He got him with a roll up, but he retained. And after the match, you see Kevin Owens, backstage complaining that he has broken ribs. So there's the injury I was talking about, that it's a legit rib injury, and they're probably going to give him some time to heal in a few weeks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue to move along. Let's see here, man. Then we get Tommaso Ciampa versus Bronson Reed. Another really good match here. Before the match, Tommaso Ciampa tells Nakamura not to interfere. But obviously that what happens about 10-15 minutes into the match, Bronson Reed and Tommaso Ciampa, Nakamura interferes, distracts Tommaso Ciampa, which leads to Bronson Reed getting the win. But that was another good match, man. But Bronson Reed wins the match. Let's move forward. Let's see here. Then we get it was supposed to be a match between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, but the match never happens. As Liv Morgan's on her way out to the ring, Rhea Ripley attacks her. She runs into the barricade a few times, and then freaking grabs a chair and smashes her arm, and she leaves her in pain. And the referees and security guards and medical staff is out. Adam Pearce, and it's believed that also Liv Morgan is legit hurt, just like Kevin Owens, and there's a way to write her off TV at least for a few weeks. She just came back from a partially teared shoulder, I think. So I wonder if it's the same thing again. Who knows exactly what's going on here, but it's believed that she is also legit hurt and she needs time off. I don't know. I mean, it looks like the Kevin Owens is for sure legit because Dave Meltzer already reported on it. But remember, they doing this on SmackDown with Jimmy Uso, right? They took him out. So I don't know if this is legit too, like Kevin Owens, or it's more like a Jimmy Uso part of a storyline. I don't know. We'll see. But so at least on the show she got hurt. She might have a broken arm. Let's move forward, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move freaking forward. We get Logan Paul, man. Ricochet doing a promo out in the ring, calling out Logan Paul. Then Logan Paul attacks him from behind, starts doing a live stream on, I believe, his Instagram. He calls a fan in the front row a virgin. Go get laid, you virgin. Was hilarious. Then Ricochet gets back up, super kicks him, hits him with like a flip, and pretty much it's official. Ricochet versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam. After the match, Logan Paul is backstage, and announces he will be back next week and get some payback. So it's official, Logan, in which believe Logan Paul is trying to get this match to be the first match on SummerSlam, because right after the match, he wants to leave and fly from Detroit to Dallas to be at his brother. He fights that same night. He boxes versus Nate Diaz. So Logan Paul. So don't be surprised if this is the first match of the card on SummerSlam. So then Logan Paul has time to fly and possibly get to, which I think he will, because I don't think the fight's probably going to be until like 11 o'clock, which Logan Paul probably latest should be done if he has the first match, maybe by 7:30. So he would have like about 3 hours to get to Detroit, from Dallas to Detroit, or from Detroit to Dallas. But yeah, it looks like this may be the first match of the SummerSlam. So Logan Paul gets enough time to fly to Dallas for the fight with Nate Diaz. Anyways, let's move forward. Let's move forward. Oh my Lord. Raw is so hard because I think it's so fucking long that the fucking, I don't know, the freaking article gets all fucked up. I don't even know where we're at. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I think we left up here. So next, I think we get freaking Damian Priest with Apollo Crews. Obviously, they actually gave Apollo Crews good time here. But then obviously Damian Priest beats him at the end. No interference here. Damian Priest just flat out clean beats Apollo Crews. And then we get a few backstage segments. We get freaking the Alpha Academy. Maxine Dupree challenges Valhalla to a match next week. And we got some other stuff. I think Shayna Baszler interview and shit like that. But then it led to Gunther and Drew McIntyre having a segment, which led to McIntyre challenging Gunther. Gunther didn't accept the challenge. So instead it was McIntyre versus Louis Kaiser. And after the match, obviously Drew McIntyre wins the match. Drew McIntyre freaking wins the match, but after the match, obviously Da Vinci and Gunther get up and they start attacking McIntyre. Matt Riddle shows up. But then he gets taken out as well. And then freaking Gunther is trying to put Drew McIntyre through a table, the announce table, but instead McIntyre counters, and instead McIntyre puts Gunther through the announce table, power bombs him, which I think is the first time Gunther legit got beat up. He's never lost, and he's really never gotten beat up like that. So interesting to see what could happen at SummerSlam. But I don't think it's gonna happen because he's still I think 50 days away or something like that from breaking the Intercontinental Championship record. So at this point, they're gonna have to do it, man. He's too close not to do it. But yeah, man, good stuff there. Anyways, let's move forward, ladies and gentlemen. And then I think we got the final segment, the main event, which was Seth Rollins and Finn Balor signing their contracts. Seth Rollins tells him, "Hey man, it don't even matter because either I'm walking out world champion or Damian Priest is cashing in on you, or he might cash in on you or me, and he walking out freaking champion, man. And just admit it, man, you would do the same thing if you were in his shoes. Your title reign, if you even beat me, it's going to be shorter than the one you had in 7 years ago because Damian Priest is going to be right there to cash in on you." And then after that, I forgot what Finn Balor said, but then the rest of the Judgment Day starts walking to the crowd. They surround Seth Rollins. They start beating him up. Sami Zayn tries to help, but he gets taken out too. Kevin Owens is nowhere to be found. Like I said, he's been taken out of TV due to that rib injury, broken ribs. So they just beat up. Everybody hits their finisher. Priest hits his house out of having choke slam. Dominic hits frog splash. Finn Balor hits coup de grace at the top rope. And that's basically the end of the show. Seth Rollins laying on his back looking up at them lights as the Judgment Day is just celebrating. And very heavily Judgment Day dominated show, man. Very heavily Judgment Day heavily show. Very heavily Judgment. There's a glitch, I think. But yeah, man. It was tough to watch this show, man. Just too damn fucking long, man. It's just too damn long, but man. But yeah, man. That's all I have to say. Until next time, holla. I'm finished.